Well, hello, darlings. Happy Sunday. Sunday to you all. Oh my goodness. How is everyone? A happy, excuse me, have not cleared my throat yet. Good to see everybody here. It is our Sunday brunch. It is Sunday, March 17th, 2024. And I wish you a happy day. And I'm glad to see you all here. We get together on Sundays and we share our meals. Our brunch table extends all around the world, which I think is really pretty cool. And so be sure and introduce yourself to everybody else at the table. Get to know each other, maybe exchange emails, become friends if you're in the same area. We've definitely brought people together here on the stream. So tell us what you're eating. Tell us what you're drinking. My name is Whimsy. I'm having some water. And I'm having some Pete's coffee. Delicioso. And we had a little bit of a treat. My friend Frances is visiting, and she and I got ourselves a strawberry roll cake. So we had a little bit of that last night. So broke my intermittent fasting. Let's go ahead. We'll turn the camera around and let's greet you. Then we'll do the Empath's prayer. And we will talk about some stuff. We will give you guys a community reading. And yeah, then we'll do some blitzes. Looks like Pam Sykes is here. Hello from beautiful sunny California. Welcome. Jack 84 is here. And good to see you here. Karen W's in the house. Alice L, thank you for being members, and it keeps the doors open. Much appreciation. Karen W, good to see you. Joel Tilson, he is our floor director. If you have trouble getting your questions to me, excuse me, Joel will be there to help. Spring is upon us, and unfortunately, I have gotten my allergies back. We had a couple weeks of peace. I am taking care of the kitty. The kitty's being bathed, but alas, I'm also allergic to pollen. So I'm going to just take my Claritin. It is what it is. Okay, Chris Crowdis is in the house. Good to see you. Kitty Connell, thank you for your membership. Roxanne Clement, great to see you here. Joel is in beautiful Wyoming. He says the butterfly bushes are there to attract hummingbirds. Very nice. Beautiful, beautiful. LC is in the house. Donald Lampert, thank you for being a member. Claudia Veras is in the house. Hi. Individual readings are for members only on Saturdays. It's our private salon and spa day where we get together and nurture ourselves. It's for members. Mm-hmm. Joel Tilson says that anti-Putin tank forces, they are entering Russia. I said that Russia would lose. Other people say Russia will win. That Putin has 85% support. The polls are, we don't know what the polls are in Russia because polls are not reliable in Russia, but and neither is the vote. But when I went into it, I didn't feel like they had the financial wherewithal to maintain the war, and that for financial reasons, the war bankrupted them. Also, they were running out of fighters, so they were having to bring in fighters from Nepal and other parts of the world. Now the people of Nepal want to know what happened to their family members. 10,000 Nepalese fighters, they don't know what happened to them. They're missing no correspondence, presumed dead, right? So, of course, that sparked a fight with Putin and Macron, Where Macron's, oh, well, we can get foreign fighters. You ever heard of the French Foreign Legion? You schmuck. Don't threat. Well, I can bring in more. Oh, you can do it, so can we. We invented it, boo-boo. So now you have this tit for tat between Putin and Macron. But how many countries are now part of NATO? He's surrounded by NATO and NATO allies. He's talking about invading Moldova. He's threatening nuclear war. You cannot threaten NATO with nuclear war and expect NATO to sit back and do nothing. Of course, NATO is going to do something. So he got shut down financially. They closed all of Putin's access to money. Then they turned around and began to talk about handing money over to Ukraine for the rebuild. The biggest concern is the influence they've had on the children that were kidnapped. We're talking about thousands of children being kidnapped and brainwashed, that this could theoretically destroy Ukraine. But actually, I think the opposite will happen, just like the opposite happened in the United States when the Japanese were put into internment camps. It did not create a more pro-American view. In fact, it did quite a bit of damage. So I don't anticipate this concern that they're all going to become happy little Russians as a result of being kidnapped and torn from their families. I think quite the opposite. It will take years for Russia to recover from what it did to once the truth comes out. So I don't anticipate, and I think the future leader is going to pull out of Ukraine and blame it all on Putin. That's what I believe. So it's not sustainable. Basically, the conclusion as a remote viewer, if I was asked, when I profiled and when I looked at the situation as a remote viewer, I follow energy and the energy of thoughts. And the first thing I saw in the energy was the concern by Putin's generals that the war coffers were empty. This is the first energy or fear or thought bubble that I felt when I went into Russia, was the concern in private meetings that they didn't have the budget to keep paying for Prigozhin, and that we don't have the money. This is not sustainable. The guy is too expensive. And then we talked about the fact that it was a bloodbath, Bakhmut, and what the soldiers had gone through was hell, and they were denied. Then they had to also come up with a way of, they had insufficient ammo, they were bankrupted. So then a war started to happen between the paid people who had better pay, better food, and better weapons than the regular Russians. So the regular Russians who are fighting and dying for their country are only getting 200 rubles a month, which is now considered worthless. Rubles have no value. And that maybe can get you coffee and cigarettes. And these guys that were getting, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 Chechnyan fighters that were coming in, supposedly that were better trained and were bankrupting. So they fired them and said, well, you can come and join us as regular Russians. So you can die for 200 ruble a month. Well, that didn't sit well. So then what happened was civil unrest within the Russian army for those people who supported Prigozhin and those people who didn't. And so you had some sabotage that began to happen. Also, when we went into the remote, as I had told you, MI6 was paying for spies to come and give information about locations, etc., and also to engage in sabotage in exchange for being paid by Ukrainian intelligence and MI6. And then 3 weeks later, MI6 came out and yay, validated that it was true. So that was cool. I always like when, I always say, usually it'll come out if a remote is, look, I'm not an oracle. If you're a fake oracle, then is none of this real? No, we really do the meditation technique, but an oracle in like, say, Tibetan culture is someone who's been chosen. They've been touched by an entity, and then they get seized by the entity, and then the entity starts telling the oracle seizes a regular person, the person becomes possessed by that being in a semi-trance state, and then would tell the Dalai Lama, if it's safe to leave, how to get there. That's a real oracle. The rest of us are card readers. We are remote viewers. And that's a technique that we can teach people. We have a 10-week course, right? But that's not the same as being a divinely touched oracle. So that is the joke. Yeah, so that's the joke. But so with all of that taken into consideration, the fact that they ran out of money, the fact that there was civil unrest after the assassination of Prigozhin, the fact that MI6 was infiltrating, the fact that you had regular Russians now sabotaging their own military to get the war to end sooner. So this is what you'll see more of. More drones flying into government buildings. You'll start to see more and more and more of this, not because they don't love Russia, but because the people of Russia want the war to end. And the only way that they can get it to end is to destroy anything that's going to assist the war. The people of Russia are destroying, burning documents, sending misinformation, delaying information. It is a concerted effort of passive resistance. Yeah. So for that reason, it's going to be really hard for Putin to keep things going. And I don't think he's been honest with the West about just how bad his finances are. His finances are very, very bad because the ruble has no value. What did they do? They put everything into other currencies. What other currencies have we talked about that also have no value? Bitcoin, right? Ethereum, right? So they poured everything into Bitcoin and then promoted everybody to invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum so that their money would have value, right? So what did the international community do? They seized the Bitcoin, right? 2-point-something billion seized by Interpol last month in Germany. Some of the stuff being used for terrorist operations. Hamas, which is an ally of Putin. Hamas and Putin get together periodically and plan things like genocide, right? So it's become increasingly difficult for these people to get access to their money. And again, that's another reason why I felt it just simply was not something that the Russians could sustain. They can't borrow. Who are they going to borrow from? North Korea that's eating grass? China that's now eating grass? The only person left that can help them is Iran, and Iran is now in a proxy war via Hezbollah and the Houthi, right, which they're funding because of the trade wars, right? Everything goes full circle. Are you angry? I guess that's the thing I would like to ask you folks that have been with me for a really long time. Hi, Debbie Brady. Debbie Brady, the talent coach, manager for Up and Rising Stars on YouTube. Give a shout out to her. She's also the creative director, the person that designed our channel. Much gratitude. Hi, Debbie. So, yeah, I'd be curious what you all think. Do you think it's sustainable? Do you think that their business model was sustainable? I don't think it's sustainable. No. Oh, Portugal. Ernesto from Portugal. Good to see you. Hi, Susan Barney. Good to see you. Hi, Joanna Carson. Hi, Geocosmic Valentine. Geocosmic Valentine is a trained HCRV remote viewer. Good to see you here. Hi, Kay Travel. She's a personal friend. Good to see you here, my love. Oh, you liked Montecito. I bet you did. It's supposed to be a beautiful part of the world. Oil facilities shut down. This is another thing. So it goes back again to what Joel and I are talking about, which is that drones are blowing up oil facilities. This is a desperate attempt by patriotic Russians to destroy their own country to get this war to end. That is basically what they are saying in the remotes. Well, who's responsible? Is it the Ukrainians? No, it's the Russians. The Russians are burning it to the ground because the only way the war is going to end is if they burn it to the ground. The other thing that's crazy is that other people are picking up drones and doing it. And so now it's become beyond the FSB to control the number of people that are part of self-sabotage. Isn't this crazy? Can you believe this? Maybe some people start creating homemade drones that start blowing things up, and then the kids start getting, well, we want to blow things up. We want to blow things up. Well, who's told you to blow? Next thing you know, you've got 100 kids with BB guns. Then you've got 10,000 people with homemade BB guns. It's like, who the hell taught you how to make a BB gun, right? That's the situation in Russia right now. It's now beyond the FSB even to control. At first, they thought they could control the agitators, but they can't control the agitators because the agitators are learning about it on social media. Have fun with that, right? Those damn young people, they're fearless, right? Okay. Love Portugal. I had a great time, but it was a little too warm. And I was there in, I believe, October, November, and it was still a little too warm for me. Yeah, Joel, it goes back to that whole thing of the debate between Macron and Putin. Who's going to have the better paid for army? Do you really want to play that game with me? I'll let you guys decide. Who's going to have the better paid for army? The Chechens or the French Foreign Legions? Who's better trained? Who has the better reputation? So what Macron is basically saying is, listen, punk. We put up with your crap long enough. You really don't want to send the French Foreign Legion. Do you really want to go there, kid? You really want to go there? They came back with Africa with heads on their shoulder. Do you really want to go there, kid? These are people that taught other people how to use machetes, stick knives. Seriously? It's a very tense situation. A very tense situation. The first time I saw a stick knife, my brother made one. They can be made from bamboo. Deadly, right? So I think that Putin has to decide, right? Are you going to continue to threaten people, or are you going to find yourself in a very uncomfortable situation very, very quickly? Remember what I had said a couple of years ago when we did a remote, and this is why I wanted your guys' opinion 4 or 5 years ago. I said, if they don't sit down to mediation, he's going to be threatening nuclear war, and we're going to be marching on Moscow. It's 4 years later, what's happening? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, the stories from the French Revolution, that they would make weapons from sticks and they would store it in their shoes, in their boots. Yeah. I mean, just the next thing you know, it's like your chop suey and all the guy had was a stick. It's like, what the hell happened? Some of them are beautiful. Some of those wooden knives are beautiful. Makes going for a walk in the woods a little bit different, doesn't it? Ruthless cultures, right? But it's like my friend Francis and I were talking about is if you don't have the brutal in your culture, can you protect yourself from invasion? Like if you're this beautiful, loving, peaceful culture, and everybody loves everybody, would you be able to protect yourself if you were invaded by like Vikings or something like that? Yeah. So I think what we're going to do, it's a great conversation, and we'll keep talking about it. I would love, you know what, maybe in a mock-up, but not in real life. It would be interesting to see the French Foreign Legions in that situation, but I think it would be a joke. I think if they came in with Russia and they had proper equipment, I think it would be a joke. They would just slaughter them. But let's do the collective reading. So are we the beautiful people? We're the well, I think that violence should always be the last result, like if you're attacked, you know, but we should try and discourage jealousy. If people are jealous of your country or your culture or your people, they will become hostile, right? Coveting creates hostility. That's what's happening in Israel, is we're trying to like not have anybody be jealous of Jewish people. It's like, oh, you think you're better than, see, that's can be one of the reasons why people immediately have that. Soon as you start to think somebody's better and somebody's less, you get into coveting, jealousy, and then that becomes very, very dangerous. Then you slip into the dangerous, now I've got enemies. So the Torah is all about how can we get people not to be jealous of you so that you don't have this happen to you. You don't need to invade us. It's Iceland. You don't need to come here. You don't. It's ice. Don't come here. It's crappy. It's Iceland. You don't come to Iceland. It's icy. Go to Greenland. That's where the green is. Yeah, you need to move to Greenland, but Iceland, stay out of Iceland, right? You don't want people to be jealous of what you have, because then everybody's going to come. Then the invaders come, right? So then I got nothing better to do. The only place open during COVID is Iceland. I'll go take a, you go to Iceland. Why go to Iceland? Nobody goes to Iceland. It's Iceland. Went to Iceland. I thought, this is the most incredible country I've ever been to in my entire life. I could live here. Oh, that's right. We're not supposed to tell anybody. So, Iceland is horrible. It's not stunningly beautiful. It's not breathtaking. Go away. Go home. All right. It's not the most livable country in the world for women, with better weather than Sweden, right? Same benefits of women's equality without having to be as cold as the women of Sweden, right? I'll tell you why I like Iceland, because if I'm in Iceland, then I'm at a central point as a blogger, because I'm semi-nomadic. I'll live somewhere. I'm not rich. Don't be, speaking of jealousy, please don't be jealous of me. I just didn't have kids. But if you're a blogger and if you work online, this is a new thing that's happened to us because I'm telemedicine, then I could spend a considerable amount of time in Iceland. And that's great because it's central. I can just hop over to the United States, hop over to Ireland, Britain, Israel. It's not a 14-hour flight, which is what I'm trying to avoid. So it's one of those places where I can get to my family in Israel. I can get to my family in America. I can get to my family in Europe. It's very nicely, so that's one of the reasons I was thinking about it. It's not that long of a flight to go from Iceland to New York. You know what I mean? Let's do the Empath prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys. to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Okay. Oh, you were in Iceland from 76 to 77. Did you not love it, Joel? Is it not the most amazing place in the world? Iceland, nothing to see here. I love you, Wendy. I mean, well, they took us to that volcano, and it's like a rocky moon surface, and you can see the water just shoots up, and the water is the most delicious warm water, and they've really perfected hydroponics. So you go into these massive greenhouses that are also restaurants that are so bright with the sun, and you have these amazing dinners with fresh tomatoes dangling, and bees. The bees don't bite. I was scared of the bees, but they use the friendly bees. But bees are flying around while you're having your lunch. I mean, it was paradise. It's paradise. It's one of the most beautiful countries I've ever been to. The food is incredible, very fresh seafood. Nothing to see. Yeah. I ate a lot of seafood when I was there. Yeah, a lot of chowders and stews and swimming and did not have the hot dogs because I'm not into. There's some big famous hot dog they have there. That's not my thing. This is your community reading. If you are here to receive this reading, which is starting at approximately, what time? How long have we been here? I don't know how long we've been here. 27 minutes is the collective reading. If you see this reading and it speaks to you, you were meant to see it. You were meant to see this reading. What do you need to know at this time in order to be happy and become your best self? What you need to know. What you need to know at this time is that, believe it or not, how you spend your money and how you live in the physical world is an expression of what is going on in your spiritual world. That everything that exists in the physical world has a spiritual counterpart. And money has a spiritual counterpart. It's a power tool. Money is a power tool. It's neutral. It's a powerful tool. The precious, right? We see it and we say, wow, this has got power. It's not evil. It's only as evil or as good as the person that wields the power. So the evil or good exist in the individual. The question is, can you handle the power? If you feel you cannot handle the power that comes with money, you will send the money away. Look at money as a power tool. So, one of the things we talk about as remote viewers and as anthropologists, right? Y'all know I'm going for my second doctoral degree. Yeah, I know. Whimsy. I don't have to pay for it. I'm going to get grants. It's not going to be in the United States, probably. It's probably going to be Israel. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But I'm an anthropologist, and I'm probably going to be going for my doctoral. We talk about fetish objects a lot in anthropology. This would be an example of a fun little art project where I decided to make a fetish object, this is an example of a wand. My cat chewed off the part of the wand, which is what she thinks of my art, with deities on it. But this would be an example of a fetish object that I created that is a power tool that I can use it to create something. And so that we call that if you decide to join our class, we have a mystery school. We get together on Wednesdays and we talk about these things. So what Spirit wants you to do is look at money as a power tool. If your early upbringing was money is evil, no. Money is good. No, it's a power tool. So Two of Pentacles is the base of your reading, back and forth with the money. So do you have control of your money? How do you view your money? Are you back and forth with your energy? How are you using your energy right now? How's your use of your energy? Back and forth with the money, back and forth with the energy. When you know who you are, when you are in control of yourself, when you know your ethics, when you know your values, when you know your mission, your vision, like my mentor calls it, what's your vision, right? I have a mentor, and that's what he always says, what's your vision, what's your vision? And always to keep yourself directed to what is your vision beyond, all the other stuff. So the base card is Two of Pentacles, but you must always remember your vision, magician. So for that reason, money is a tool. It's like my vision is to become a doctor of anthropology. I already became a doctor of naturopathic medicine. I'm bored. Already did a master's thesis. I'm bored, right? I complain, I'm bored, I need to grow, I need to evolve, right? So I want to become a master herbalist. So this year I'm focusing more on, well, I already have a doctorate. Master, postdoctoral, right? I got to keep moving. I got to keep evolving as a person, as do you, right? My bliss, my passion. What's your bliss? What's your passion? What's your vision? Your karma card is the Magician. The only thing that we, Spirit, expect from you is to know what is your vision and what the tools, what are your power tools? What are your fetish tools? The vision is the focus. Money is the tool. If you focus on the tool, you've missed the point. To not look at money as bad, good, or indifferent, but as a power tool that can help get you what you want. It's like Elon Musk doesn't really care about money. He doesn't even think about it. He doesn't even know how much money he has. Really, we do. No, he's interested in being a magician. Because once you become a magician, you can make as much money as you want. That's power. The money, we do. We got 354 billion now that's fantastic. But mine's the vision. What's your vision? The power is your vision. If you have vision, then you have power. The more that you implement and perfect your vision, the more power you will attain. As a result of that, you may accumulate more fetish objects, more power objects like money, but not necessarily. Edgar Allan Poe had power as a writer. We were just talking about his brilliance as a writer, but he did not have money. Money is only one power tool. It doesn't need to, if you require it, for example, Mr. Musk doesn't need to have a lot of money. He just needs to get to Mars in the next 10 years because he's going to die. He knows he'll die soon. He eats crap, right? He knows he'll be 63 or whatever in the next 10 years or however. And so he's got to get to Mars. He's very clear that he is a magician trying to manifest human beings on Mars. He's got 10 years. So that's all he's thinking about. Everything else is to get the money to pay for the mission to Mars. Only view money as a tool to create your vision. I don't have a vision that's so expensive that requires billions and billions and billions of dollars to be sending rockets into space. My vision is I want to go back in time and I want to find out how these herbs that have evolved on this planet for millions of years and have been used by humans to heal humans ever since there have been humans on the earth. I want to go back and back in time and find the cure that we already have and treat people with as minimal invasion as possible with herbs, diet, nutrition, and the simple ways which have been lost, so that we can have less surgery down the road, which is expensive to the federal government. That's why, by the way, the feds forgave the student loans of naturopaths that were working in pharmacies, et cetera, because they calculated that we were saving millions because we were getting people to avoid surgery. Let's see if we can't give you a little sage tea instead of having your large intestines cut out. Sage is a very powerful antibiotic. Let's have a little conversation here. Let's save the federal government a little money, right? Again, think in terms of your vision, your power to, not on a power trip, a trip of vision. Don't be misunderstood. It's not that you're on a power trip. Only you have the power to manifest your vision, which means you have to become a magician. You have to figure it out. First off, you need to find your vision. What is your purpose? And then you need to figure out how to make it happen. If you're throwing your money all over the place, then you're throwing your energy all over the place, and you have lost sight of your vision. Because if you are clear with your vision, you would not be throwing your energy around, because money is power and power is energy. Where you are at this time, Two of Swords, you're too rigid. Your thinking is too small. Your thinking is too narrow. You're being too protective. You're hiding away too much. Step back and look at your situation. Maybe you've been too traumatized. You're not. There are good men and good people in this world that really do care about you. Not everybody is out to get you. Be wary of making your world so small because of past trauma. Six of Cups, old loves. The things you loved in the past are your destiny. If you loved them, they were your destiny. How do I know if it was my destiny? If you loved them. Well, who am I? You're the person that loved that person. Love will tell you who you are. I'm coming out of past betrayal, stabbed in the back. And you're headed towards new loves, Knight of Cups. You can have whatever you want. Do you want romantic love, or do you want to just know true love? If you want to know true love, get a rescue dog, right? Rescue dogs will teach you what it is to truly love someone. If it's romantic love, that's something else. But Knight of Cups comes in the 6th house with the 6 of Cups in the 4th house. That could be that you want to know true love in a romantic form. So you have to be very specific. Well, I want romance, but I want true love, but I want it to be romantic. Okay, we can make that happen. 7 of Swords. You are a thief. You flee like a thief. A lot of you got to work out your energy with money. Thief? Why do you think of yourself as a thief? Why are you back and forth with money? What are you stealing? The other you're having issues with, the Ice King. Heartless. No. He said I was crazy. You were crazy in love and you cared, right? If she's crazy, it's because she cares. I've dated guys that think I'm sane as can be. Why? Because I'm not even slightly interested. You want to be sane on a date? Don't care. How you doing? I'm fine. How are you? Could care less. Whimsy's pretty sane. Yeah. But you put someone across from you who you're in love with and you're wildly attracted. Do you stay sane? Come on, it's insanity, right? Hopes and fears, your own mind, your own ability to, you're scared of your own mind, aren't you? You're scared of just how deep you can go. The Hermit. Go as deep as you want to go in your own mind, your own thoughts, your own beliefs. Don't be afraid of your own intellect. You've got to stop. Y'all got agoraphobia or something. 9 of Wands, feeling jailed. You know what? You got to break free. Oh, I see many of you investing in things that will return back to you. Also, renewable resources. The green economy is when we invest in things that can be renewed. You get your wish regarding the Ice King. It means that you could grow up. You could grow beyond whoever it was that hurt you in the past and begin to see them simply as a tool that you've moved beyond. Hopes and fears, King of Pentacles, finance. There's still some fear about finances. Many of you just need to get educated about money. in order to take the power, because the final outcome for many of you is the Queen of Wands, and she establishes her own territory, typified by the original archetype was Oshun, the goddess of Africa. It does not come from Europe. I just want to be very clear about that. The Queen of Rods' origins is actually thousands of years old and comes from the Yoruba tradition of Africa. This is Oshun, the goddess of love. And she will not be disrespected. You don't disrespect her. She establishes territory. Look, you don't have to beat the guy up. It's just that Oshun knows she's a queen. There's no confusion. You're going to talk to me the way that you speak to a queen, or you don't get to have me in your life. End of story. Boom. So a lot of y'all, well, she's the territory queen. So she only shows up if she's been disrespected or she has had her boundaries crossed, and then she needs to have a little conversation with some people. Wands are always territory. Nine of Wands is someone who feels cornered or they feel that they've lost territory. Queen of Wands comes in and says, "That's enough already. You've crossed my boundaries, and we're going to have a little conversation." And one of the ways that people cross our boundaries is money, particularly as we get older. So we have to be careful about Two of Pentacles, and then we start to feel, and then people want to start taking what little we have left. And then Queen of Wands, look, excuse me, my space. She's the gypsy dancer, right? That's doing the dancing. And they only could dance on a tile that was what, 2 feet by 2 feet, right? And because of this idea of constantly being forced to move around the gypsies, right? And so this idea of taking a little plot of 2 feet by 2 feet and stomping up and down and saying, "This is my space." That is the gypsy dance, right? So that's definitely the archetype I think of when I think of the Queen of Wands. So that is your reading. Oh, Wendy, no, math is fun. Math is fun if you let yourself enjoy it. I was afraid of my math teacher, but I now realize that I do math for fun at night. There's a free math program through PCC. If you join PCC, you can go and play with, they have a free math online, Math 60. I'm doing Math 60, even though I was supposed to be doing calculus. Just because I haven't done math in so many years, I forgot how to do. So I'm reviewing Math 60, Math 70, 110. I'm just going through all of it on my own for fun and doing the little equations. And it's like doing Sudoku when there's no pressure, when you're just doing it for fun, figuring out how it works. Then, the numbers invert in the head. There's tricks for that too. One way is we use colored pens with our students that have that. So use two contrasting colors like blue and red. The other thing is that each number can have a specific color. So, 1 is a specific color, 2 is a specific color, and that's really going to help you. So when you see that number, you're going to always associate it with that color, and then you'll never have those kind of vision problems. Yeah, Jack, I love math now. And I was right there with you. And it wasn't math that I hated. It was the psychological stress. And I'm running out of time. I need time. And so I'd be thinking, it was timing, anxiety, and intimidation. I don't know what that word means. But slowing down and having all the time in the world. And what does you mean when you say quotient? What do you mean when you say exponential? What do you mean when you, it's actually a heck of a lot of fun. Yeah. One could declassify being in love as a mental illness. Oh, one could classify it as, well, Plato didn't. Who was it that said it was a type of insanity? I don't know. Well, when I get the order, we will blitz, blitz, blitz away. I think we are going to start with the revolution in Russia because that was what you guys opened with. I think we've got more concerns about the princess. Evidently, they're making a statement, the BBC, tomorrow. Yeah, so we don't know. We hope she's okay. Let's see about, did we get the blitz, blitz, blitz away order? Or do you guys want to keep talking? Oh, we did. I mean, I'll keep talking until I get the blitz, blitz, blitz away. Because people want to keep talking about it, that's fine. But if people are bored and want to move on, I need people to hint by saying blitz, blitz, or just give me some kind of hint that we need to move on. Okay. All right, we're moving on. All right, let's look at the revolution. I take all my orders from you people. Debbie gives me hints, and of course Joel, the floor director. Otherwise, I mean, I don't have. Joel is not in my ear. The producer's not in my ear. So sometimes I'll mean to say Harry, but I'll say William. Sometimes the wrong word will come out, and I don't have Joel in my ear. Maybe one day we'll work it out like that. So it's a little bit more confusing. On a regular talk show that's not virtual, the floor director would be able to communicate. So sometimes I can't always see what Joel is saying. He's like, I'm giving you the answer. So sometimes we get a little bit confusing over here. Yeah. All right. Putin's forces are in trouble for sure. Can't believe he was stupid enough to threaten France. What a moron. I mean, we should just throw on that. There's definitely movement happening with the war. You can see the Chariot and then smoother waters. The war card is at the bottom, so I don't see war. Ambassador of Peace. You got to understand that Putin is trying to get a ceasefire because he can't financially afford the war. I'm very disturbed with the Pope saying, well, you should wave the white flag. They invaded a sovereign nation, raped and pillaged, kidnapped people's children, and took them away to wherever, to Babylon. And they're weeping for their children. And you're saying white flag? I mean, how unplugged are people? That's one of the most unplugged statements. Of course, you can't surrender. You must keep fighting to get your children back. I mean, this is insane. Your country back. Can you imagine if somebody had invaded New York and whisked off hundreds of thousands of U.S. children? We would be, oh, you just got to wave the white flag, America. Come on. Don't be ridiculous. Knight of Cups. So that is what I traditionally use as an ambassador of peace, like somebody who's trying to get us to be. Look, thieves attempting to steal is the blocking of the ambassador. What is above us? The Ice King, the King of Swords, which could be military. What is below? Ace of Swords. The military man wants to be successful. He wants to be victorious in war. Past placement, refusal to accept Four of Cups. So they weren't accepting the peace proposal. What they're headed into, Tower, more serious wars, Tower. I see major explosions and major attacks. This looks like more oil refineries, Joel, more, you can see here, more places being blown up. The level of destruction on both sides is billions and billions of dollars pointlessly, for no point. where they're at defending their territory. You see, again, Seven of Wands. Always remember, Wands is a territorial aspect to it. Person is girding their loins here with Seven of Wands. So I'm assuming we are looking at Russia girding its loins. That's right, because we're not looking at Ukraine, we're looking at Russia. So Russia's defending itself against its own civil war. The opposition, children. Damn! Holy hell. They're being attacked by teenagers with drones. Teenagers on TikTok. High school students that don't want to go. Oh, okay. They don't want to go to war. They don't want to be drafted. So they join the resistance. That's what they're telling me. 16, 17. Some people are joining even earlier. At the gymnasiums. I'm getting the feed now. It's open feed. Jesus Christ. Pardon my French. So what HCRV, heart-centered remote viewing, we gaze at an image. This is something that goes back to Tibet. We gaze at an image and we allow ourselves to go into a semi-trance, and then the image opens us to another dimension or world. This is HCRV quick technique. I saw a child, and then when I continue to gaze at the child, I go into a vision. And then in the vision, the people talk to me. This is how, I know it sounds crazy, and you should take it with a grain of salt. But that is HCRV quick technique. So what this guy told me, the opposition is a child, not a Page of Cups. That can be an angel of healing, but it can also be a child. So I have to find out the clarification. So you go into the gut as a remote viewer, like, what the hell am I looking at here? No, you're looking at a child. So I hear back, oh no, I'm a child. You're a child. So I'm making contact with a child? Where the hell are you? I'm in high school, gymnasium. Why are you throwing bombs at local government buildings? Because I don't want to be drafted. You don't want to be drafted? Yeah, I'm 17 years old and I'm facing the draft, and so are my friends. So you join the resistance? Yeah, we're all joining. You're not afraid for your safety? Well, our parents might get arrested. So a conversation is happening here. They're being attacked by high school students that don't want to go to war. You guys want to talk about it? Are you shocked? According to this guy, who's still talking, by the way, they're getting people in the resistance as young as 14, 13, 12. According to this guy, he says the draft is going younger. That pardon my French, that Putin is taking younger and younger fighters, according to this kid. And they're afraid that kids as young as 16, they're hearing rumors in some villages of kids as young as 16, particularly in poor villages. This kid's talking. Belgorod was one of those places. Oh, he said Belgorod was one of those places for replacements. I guess, so he's calling them replacements. Is this helping you guys? Is this giving you guys the information you need? According to this kid, boy, he's a great access, by the way. The courts are working against the people. The courts are issuing a death sentence for the Russian people. If we don't resist, he says kids as young as 16 years old are being taken to draft, and that high school students had no choice. He says, what do you mean by college? College? I mean, they're getting us as young as 16. So the courts in Russia are actively working against the people. So he is saying here that if we don't do this, the courts will actively engage in policies that will kill us. Meetings are secretive. They're spontaneous and they're self-motivated, and he said they're self-motivated predominantly due to self-preservation. He said we all started doing it because of self-preservation. There was no central leader. We just all started collectively coming up with ways to sabotage the heavy load that the children carry the heavy load of the sabotaging the war. This is some crazy stuff that's not public information, and I am digging it. I so appreciate this information coming in from this kid. By this summer, the efforts of the student protest will be so serious that the government will have to address it. The regular military is at a loss as to how to control the youth rebellion. Regarding the court's response to the youth rebellion, they are trying to preserve the youth because we need them later on, including for military service. So they're trying to give them candies and sweets and be gentle with them. The courts have been told to be gentle with the youth because the laws for youth are protecting youth at 16. And so the people that are running from the draft and are joining the resistance, who are teenagers in high school, according to this remote, when they go before the courts, they're not having the crap beaten out of them. They're being talked to like petulant little children. They're giving a slap on the wrist. They're being watched, and they're being given a chance to change their ways. Six of Cups, come back to the courts, come back. No, we have no choice, because if we follow your orders, we'll be dead before we hit our 19th birthday. So, oh God, I don't even know what to say. You guys want to talk about it? It's crazy. I'll tell you why I appreciate remote viewing, why I appreciate how much I've grown since I learned this technique. It's easy to live in our own worlds. It's easy to live in our own worlds and to have our own perceptions of things. But I can't imagine what it would be to be a 16, 17-year-old boy who's graduating this summer and then going immediately into military service. What do I need to do to stay alive? Because 87% of the military has been wiped out, which means that I'm going to my death. I'm 17 years old and I know that I'm going to my death, and I have people in my family that depend on me, my parents, my grandparents. What am I going to do? What do you expect me to do? I'm going to join the resistance. Well, the other thing that the guy says that's shocking, college, by college, what are you talking about college? They're taking us, according to this guy, they're taking them at 16. Who said we're joining the resistance at 14? We're joining the resistance at 12. Our kid brothers are helping us, our kid sister. Remember what the remote had also said, that they were making pipe bombs in their bathrooms. Who? The teenagers, the little kids. I mean, I remember junior high, we were not making pipe bombs, right? So we just have to pray, and, we can continue to look at Russia in the future. But that is, according to this information, the people running part of the sabotage are the young, the extreme young. All right, here's a question coming from Marie Ramirez. Hi, Marie. Judge Cannon is planning to dismiss all charges against Trump. Let's take a look. I don't think so. I think what she wants is to just delay it. If she dismissed it, we could take it to an appellate court, which would be better for us. appeals, but she wants to continue to dangle it around and take the power away, right? So let's take a look. Judge Cannon. Judge Cannon. A judgment is coming down. Her karma is the Tower. A major explosive judgment. Where she's at right now, Six of Cups. She's trying to make everyone get along. Knight of Cups also. So those are cards we associate with peace, love, and harmony, trying to get along with people, right? A thief is attempting to steal something in her courtroom. What she's sitting in the King of Pentacles, which means the business. There's a business, a theft of a business, jail, coming out of jail, and she's going towards the Queen of Rods. She's establishing territory in her own courtroom, right? So where she's at right now, 10 of Wands. She carries a heavy load. The opposition, the Hermit. So there certainly the opposition has the intellectual card. I'm assuming that would be the prosecution. The hopes and fears, the Star, the final outcome. She wants to hang this case up. It could be that she dismisses the case, or she dismissed. There's some kind of hanging up of the case because of her own ethics or values or something. So it could be that the case, something happens where she will no longer be in charge of this case. That's my prediction. I don't know why or how, but there's some kind of major event, and Cannon could be taken out. And I can't say why that is, but Tower. But Tower would indicate that her karma is a real major shakeup. And the fact that, what was the outcome? Yeah, Hanged Man. I don't know. It's not looking too good for her. Delay is the tactic, right, Joel? But it's not going to be going that way much longer with those cards. Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene are both going bye-bye. I think that's, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she might still have some strength, but yeah, the Federalist probably, I would think so. Let's take a look at Marjorie and Bobo. All right, we'll do 4 cards on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is all about raising money for the Republican Party. She can bust ass to get the money in. She can motivate people, and she can bring in the big bucks. 2 of Pentacles, back and forth with the money, healing, Queen of Pentacles, and out there moving Chariot. Get that race going. Raise that money for our guy Trump, who we love, right? So she just loves him. She is out in full force, loves him, lovers to get that money. 2 of Pentacles. Ace of Swords, opposition with the page of, with Raphael. Her opposition is going to win. Mm-hmm. Hopes and fears, the truth. And the Queen of Pentacles. There's an opposite. What if she's running against a female in the future? Final outcome, the Chariot and the Emperor. To become president would be the Emperor's card. Emperor is the president. I think that she's kept around because she's a great money maker for the Republicans and for Trump. All right, let's take a look now at Bobert. Bobert is the one that's really, his life's a mess, showing up, stoned, vaping, she just doesn't care anymore, right? Bobert. She's facing the courts and she's facing possible legal prosecution in jail. And for that reason, she has no future in the moving forward. Her opposition is victorious. Criminal, look at that, jail with the courts, which would indicate an actual jail. Her clarification. She could be facing criminal charges by August. She was escorted out of the theater, yes. And so that's a problem. All right, now Haiti is going through a really terrible civil war right now. As many of you know, Port-au-Prince is in turmoil. Many people have fled. They're being called cannibals. And of course, you can be sure that the white extremists, white racists, what are they called? White supremacists. They're going crazy. Cannibals are coming to eat us, right, from Haiti. Cannibals are not coming to eat us. But no, Haiti's in civil war, and the president quit because of the corruption. But let's take a look. Let us take a look. The future of Haiti. Yes, the Haitian government, the new Haitian government will ask for allies that will recognize the new Haitian government and they will in turn allow for aid to come in. And they are arguing that they made it necessary because the people were left poor, and they will allow aid in. And they do want other countries to recognize them and to recognize the legitimacy of their revolution. You can see the Two of Cups. They're willing, no, come in. We are not bad people. We had to do this. There was no choice. We will work with you. You want to bring aid in? You want to bring aid in? Talk to us. Two of Cups. Let's negotiate. Lovers. No, you got us wrong. We're not the bad people. They were corrupt. They took the money from the people, all the aid money, everything. We got nothing. That's why we did this. No, come talk to us. We will make sure it gets distributed. Two of Cups, lovers. You don't have to, you got it all wrong. See? That's the energy. Star. We needed a revolution. Do you understand that? We had no choice. It would have been the same thing, more corruption, death of the situation. So they're trying to say, what would you have us do? Well, they took it all for themselves, all the aid you gave. So this is what they're saying. They got their wish. Hi, Mila. Judgment, the lovers. People are starting to say, well, maybe they got a point. Star, money, come on, Knight of Pentacles. What could we have done? Death over the situation. Okay, they've got a point. Can you guys get organized? Yes, we can get organized. You're going to help us? If you guys can get organized, yes. Organized. In the end, what they are saying is that this was necessary. The revolution was necessary for Haiti. And we can't control all this because there are people stealing, because they're starving. They're stealing back the resources that these people stole that you gave to them. They're stealing their stuff. You see, this is the dynamic I find myself in. Yes, my love. Oh, yes, you go up here. You go up there. Will the Democrats win in those? I heard that we take 3 Senate seats. We're ahead 3 Senate seats. We're ahead in the Senate now, but we'll gain more seats. And my prediction is that we will take the House by far more. because so many GOP are resigning and they're in blue districts, but it's also energetically, I got that we would win. It'll probably be 53 to 47 in the Senate is my prediction. All right, so we've been going overtime. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. I just want to make sure to get to most people's blitzes. I think there was one last question about Kate Middleton. People said, please call her by her official name, Princess Cat. Okay, we're Americans. Let's help everybody out here. And we fought a civil war to get those people out of our country. We don't do that in our country. We don't do that. If that's what you want to do, if you want to call her the Queen of the Nile or whatever, knock yourself out. But we are proud Democrats. We believe in democracy. And that's not disrespect. We hope that just like Meghan Markle said, Kate is a really good person. You don't have to hate her just because you like me. She's a good person. But she's a good person who quite possibly is in an abusive situation. So what we have heard in the remotes is that her and her husband have a lot of stress. To be perfect is very stressful. It's like when Thomas Kingston took his own life. And we asked him about it in the remote. He said, pressure. I was under a lot of pressure. I was under a lot of economic pressure to be perfect. He was running a financial investment firm. And according to the remote, he said he had lost his shirt. I lost my shirt. So he appears to have lost a tremendous amount of money. Now, he used to date Pippa. So I'm wondering if Pippa and her family had invested in any of Thomas Kingston's, because he had an investment firm. Because it's come out that Kate Middleton's family is now facing bankruptcy. So they are no longer what they were, right? They've lost all their money. So the Middletons have lost all their money, and Kingston lost all his money. The head of according to him, he lost everything. So why do rich men usually kill themselves? It's not over a girlfriend. Rich men usually kill themselves because they've lost their shirt. And what did Thomas Kingston say? He said he lost his shirt. But who else's shirt did he lose? Was he investing for the Middletons? Is the bankruptcy they're facing partly his responsibility? So are we looking at the Middletons go under? They start, King Charles is complaining that the Middletons need to get it together financially. They've become poor white trash. And so now Kate is being made to look like poor white trash with her uncle, her peasant uncle on Big Brother, right? And they don't have any money anymore. So who the hell is she? She's not one of them anymore. So the golden child is now the broke child. And then we have Kingston taking his own life. So what does that do to somebody's mental health? The visions I had were that she was alone drinking. Maybe she took antidepressants. If he came home and found her unresponsive, if he has to speak to the police or anybody else to try and determine, usually if somebody has had an accidental overdose and then you have to call an ambulance, like what happened December 28th, I believe that was for Kate. I think he was seen getting in a car following them or something. I've always contended that he found his wife, he came home early, and that she was unresponsive and that it was an accident. and that the ambulance was called. Usually in those cases, they can give a medication. They may have to pump the stomach. In terms of what can go wrong, people can aspirate, they can choke. When that happens, you can lose oxygen. If too much of the drug has got into your system and the drug suppressed breathing, like a benzodiazepine, we're saying it's an accident. It happens all the time as an accident. You're under stress, you need to get some sleep, you're drinking. Your husband finds you unresponsive, he calls an ambulance. The psychiatrist, the police, Scotland Yard, has to sit down and have a conversation with William. Sorry, I can't be attending the memorial service. I've got a personal matter. Yes, your personal matter is you're going to have a conversation with some people. We need to determine what her mental state was at the point when she was like at the point when she mixed these medications. This is standard. And we have to talk to the person that discovered her. That's also standard. Are we looking at having to commit this person? Is she brain dead? Do they pump her stomach? Is this person already have medical problems? Then did they already have too much of the drug in their system anyway? Cessation of breathing can lead to brain damage, right? So then the person is put on life support or a temporary coma, right? Not a temporary coma. That would, like a drug-induced temporary coma, no. But the person might be brain damaged, right? So if the person comes out of it and is not brain damaged, but they still have to be under psychiatric observation, and if there were also medical consequences, they need to heal, but they can't be released back into the public just willy-nilly if there's a suspicion of an attempted suicide. And you don't go public talking about it if you haven't first spoken to your children. And so you're under observation, getting well, possibly under psych care, and then you start leaking things to the press, which is what Kensington Palace has begun to do, that she's emotionally strained, she's thinking of quitting her public life, she can't do it anymore. The stress of being perfect. And all of that is true and feeds perfectly in with the remote. I don't think she was trying to kill herself. I think it was an accident. And I think it happens all the time. And I think that it's something that's very embarrassing that nobody would want to admit to, that she's so stressed out. I took my Claritin. That she's so stressed out that she was taking Ambience to sleep. But they now, if they care about her, they have to decide whether or not she should be in public anymore. But you can be sure that William is running around saying she's a very sick girl, she needs to get some help, and so she is stepping down from public life. So where's she going to go? She's going to go to Adelaide College, where she will be put away. Remember what she said to us. She's going to be put away. And we're not going to make the same mistake we made last time. Both children are going to boarding school. The heir and the spare. We won't make the mistake we made last time. So both those children are now separate from her. She can have Louis. So it's her and Louis in Adelaide College. He's coming and going as he pleases. But she's been put away. Well, she will be basically under semi-arrest in Adelaide Cottage for the rest of her life, if she's still alive. And that'll be the end of it. That's what I saw, but let's take a look at the future of Kate Middleton. Aren't you glad you're not a princess? Same thing happened to the princesses in Dubai. Where she's at, she's being moved. There's an attempt at theft. So she could be trying to sneak out, which has happened in the past. You know, you try to lock somebody up in the attic and then they sneak away. I've been in the tower for 70 years. You've got to get me out of here. I'm not insane, right? This appears to be the situation we have. The old lady got out again. How did she? Woo? You need to watch the door. Sneaking away. She's trying to get away. Seven of Swords. No, that's your mental illness. You must surrender. Let us help you. Her Judgment. Her crossing card. Things are changing very quickly. What is above her, a new beginning starts for her in April. What sits below her, her karma. What is coming out of her past, Seven of Pentacles. She did a lot of good things for this country. Yeah, so Meghan, they say, has tried to reach out to her. And according to friends of Meghan, they say Meghan is genuinely really worried about her. Kate, what's that? Talk to me. Sign of life. They say she's facing jail. In April, the Queen will be placed in prison. I mean, if you want me to just read them straight. This is the time of Aries, so March 21st. New beginning. Women, Three of Cups. She's around women. Her opposition, the Hermit. So she has these scholars around her, these intellectuals. Her husband's very brilliant. Hopes and fears, the Tower, the destruction of her home. The final outcome for Kate. There's another man here, King of Pentacles. Another man in her future. But who is he? The clarification for her, she will establish her own territory. This is my space. Get the hell out. Her opposition, paying the experts. He's paying the experts. Get rid of her. Take care of her. Hopes and fears. Another woman has taken her place in the house. The Queen of Swords comes. And then the final outcome over the King of Pentacles, the other man. He is her strength. A man will be close to her that will be helping her, and they will love each other. She will find another man and she will fall in love with him. That is not William. So it could be somebody close to her that gives her love. Somebody strong who loves her, who's a man. I don't know who this man is, but she has some man near her who's loving her, well, it could be William, because William isn't he an earth sign? The strong earth sign is her future. We don't think of ourselves as evil. William probably thinks he's being a good husband by not publicizing what he considers to be his wife's mental health problems. But the question you have to ask yourself is, a water sign, I thought he was at the cusp. He's Cancer or he's Taurus? I heard he's on the, oh, he is a water sign? Well, then it's another man. There's some man is her strength that will help her. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what kind of financial problem Thomas Kingston got into. I'd like to see, whatever he told me. I'd like to find out more about it as a remote viewer, because I do feel frustrated as the person that's giving you, like, as the remote viewer, like, because they're not public, how there's so little that we can verify, and it's frustrating for me. Because usually it'll come out in the public within three weeks or so, at least something to verify if we're on the right track as a remote viewer. When I've gotten off, when I've gotten on, why I got wrong, why I got it right. So this is frustrating for me, but hopefully, if I was completely off, we'll know hopefully by today or tomorrow, I would imagine. All right, love and light to everybody. Thank you so much for your love and support, and for your memberships. They mean the world, and they keep us up and running. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, understand that my prices are going up about 40%. And the reason for that I know, is because I did not raise my prices for 10 years and inflation kept happening and I can't pay my bills if I don't raise my prices in 10 years. So prices, I looked at everything, all the expenses, also herbal medicine. I was losing money. I was giving away more than, anyway, the point is you don't need to hear about it. The point is the prices are going up. March 22nd for my birthday. And of course, Chuck gets a raise also. He desperately needs one. So if you would like to see me either as a doctor or as a naturopathic doctor or for a reading, those prices go up March 22nd. If you need to see me as a physician, I do telemedicine appointments, which means it would be one-on-one like this. I just send you a link, you click on, and we talk. And then I ship you your herbs and your treatment plan. And usually you'll get it within a week. Wizio is available also if you can't afford a full reading, and those prices have not changed. I think it's something like $25, $30 for one question. Those prices may go up sometime in the summer. I haven't decided yet. All right. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. Again, thank you so much. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.